Hello, and welcome back to Crafty Crandall. Today I have such an exciting video for you. I completed Inktober this year. So I did Songtober again, in which I depicted 31 songs in 31 days, and it was so much fun. Oh, did I mention that they were all by 31 distinct music artists? So this is my Songtober sketchbook. We will get into the specifics, and if you haven't already watched it, I recommend that you go and watch my previous Songtober video before you watch this one so that you can see the improvement that I made over the course of 2 years. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. So welcome to my Songtober sketchbook. This is the Strathmore 400 series Toned Gray mixed media sketchbook. It is, I think, 8.5 by 11 size, and it is a decent sketchbook. I really liked like the paper thickness and everything. It is a little bit difficult here. I'll try to do this without spoiling any of the artwork, but as you can see, the spine doesn't lay flat. So if you're looking for a sketchbook that lays flat, this one, it struggles to do so, especially as you continue to use more and more of the sketchbook. But overall, it was good for what I wanted it for. So in addition to this sketchbook, I also used a lot of my Faber-Castell Pitt pens. I used this Tombow water-based marker, and then I used 3 different sizes of Posca markers, all in white. I kept a really black and white theme throughout my Songtober sketches, which happens to match my nails, and this worked pretty well. I'm happy with how it turned out, though I will say that I did start missing the color of my previous Songtober sketchbook. But anyhow, let's get right into it, shall we? So this first page is not actually part of Songtober. This is a sketch that I had done just to like get the sketchbook started, knowing that I was going to do my Songtober in this sketchbook, but not wanting to start on the first page. So this is actually similar to my Songtober entries. It is for the song Invisible String by Taylor Swift. And as you can see, in addition to the black and white, I did add some metallic to this particular piece, which again is not part of Songtober. Moving into my first entry for Songtober and my prompt list. So I have not yet filled in the 30th, although I have done the piece. It is for Dying Day by the band Disorder. I will get to that when I get there, but other than that, you can see here all of the songs that I chose to depict in this Songtober. The first one, of course, being Forever Falling by Alter Bridge. So this song is so moving. I actually had the pleasure of going to the Alter Bridge Walk the Sky listening party for this album. So I got to hear this song a month before it was actually released. And the second that I heard it, I fell in love. This is my favorite song on that album. It is probably one of my favorite Alter Bridge songs. I don't want to say my favorite just because I have so many, but it's definitely up there, and I love it. Now, this piece is probably one of my least favorite. I think there's 2 that I would consider to be my least favorites, and this is one of them. That is mostly because I was unfamiliar with the medium that I was using. So I thought that the white would go over the black a lot better than it actually did, and I didn't know what I was doing yet. So I got a lot better as Songtober progressed, but as a first piece for my favorite Alter Bridge song, or close to it, you know, it is what it is. It depicts the song. And actually, I apologize, I just realized that you're not really that straight. Here we go. The next 2 pieces were for The Next Great American Dynasty by Taylor Swift and Cruise by Florida Georgia Line. So these songs are very different from one another, and yet I still don't mind how this spread came out. A theme throughout my Songtober entries are going to be the way that I do my lyrics. So I tried so many different ways to do lyrics throughout this entire sketchbook, and that was really mostly like the fun part of doing each of these illustrations, was trying to figure out how to incorporate, you know, different techniques. So this has been such a fun challenge, and I really like how both of these pieces came out. The next two songs are Paranoid by Prevail and The Weatherman by Blue October. Paranoid was so much fun. I absolutely love how this illustration turned out, and I think that this is one of the strongest pieces in this sketchbook. And then The Weatherman, I tried to use, so I'll try to put a picture of the single art that Blue October released for this, but I tried to use like the actual weather symbol to kind of depict pushing back the rainstorm over the course of time, because the primary lyrics throughout the song and the chorus are, "We're on the edge of our blue sky." And it is such a moving piece, especially for like today's day and age. I think that we could all use a little ray of sunshine in our day. The next two songs are Remington by Grainger Smith and Where Are You by Silverstein. Remington is such a beautiful song. I love it to death, and it was so much fun drawing this. Just, you know, took a picture from their website and drew literally one of their models. And then for the Silverstein piece, it was also similarly very fun to depict this. I actually really like how it turned out. Obviously, when I was drawing it, I did turn the sketchbook the other way around to make sense of the drawing. I did not draw it upside down, but I think that it turned out very well. So this page bugs me. So I don't like how this one came out, but I absolutely love how this one came out. So it kind of frustrates me, but the songs for this one are My Own Prison by Creed and As the Silence Becomes Me by Tremonti. So, again, I'm not so happy about how this one turned out. I kind of got lazy here, obviously. I think it might have turned out better if I had made this look more like fire, because you truly can't tell. You just think that's part of the lion's mane, but it's not. And then, like I said, if I had filled in the rest of it to be black, it might have been a little bit better. Additionally, obviously the eyes on the the eyes on the lion are a bit not quite as good as they could be, but you know, you win some, you lose some. This song, however, oh my gosh, so another fun story time. After the listening party, I got to talk to one of the members of Tremonti, their drummer, and it was so fun because he introduced me to like the real life in-person Rhapsody, who is my favorite character in Mark Tremonti's book, A Dying Machine, which is where this is from. So that was so much fun. And I like how those two stories kind of tie in together. But this is essentially depicting, so Rhapsody in the book is essentially an old weather station. She's an artificially intelligent weather station, and it throughout the end of the book, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it, but Rhapsody essentially becomes a character who we presume will be in the follow-up novel. The next two songs are Hold My Heart by 10th Avenue North and Dirt to Dust by Jason Aldean. Now, unfortunately, so I actually showed this picture to my dad, and he was like, and I told him about it, and he was like, oh, that doesn't really look like waves. That actually looks like rope. So this is supposed to be the ocean, if it's not clear, but apparently I could have done better with my my waves there. This is a really simplistic illustration, but I do like the simplicity and how it turned out. Dirt to Dust, on the other hand, was so much fun to illustrate. Just took all of the different implements from the song, threw them together, and tried to do some really cool lyrics up the top. The next two songs are Supernova Star by Will Mack and Vultures by Icarus Bell. So Wilnack is the guitar player for Blue October, and Icarus Bell is made up of the bassist from Blue October. So both of these are kind of Blue October side projects. We will see one more of those throughout this sketchbook. Blue October is my favorite band, so you shouldn't be surprised by this. Supernova Star is a beautiful song about his daughter Nova, and just tried to depict that here. One of the primary lines is, "You're a tattoo on my heart," so I tried to actually take the style of tattoo, it's like a patch tattoo. Kim Beck Tattoos does them sometimes, and so I was inspired by that to make this piece. And then the song Vultures, it's so good. I highly recommend that you go check it out. At least I think the lyric video, or at least a teaser of the lyric video, is on YouTube. But regardless, here's what that is from, and I really like how this piece actually turned out. I think that it was a really good depiction of the song. Alright, the next two songs are Illuminate by Yellowcard and Driving Rain by Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. So this piece was really fun to do. The lyrics here say, "Look for a future no one else has sung," and so I tried to depict like the past being a closed book that has presumably been written in, and then the future here being a blank book where you can write whatever you want, and being an open book. And then obviously the whole thing is set in a Polaroid. So that was my concept here. I really like how it turned out, although it might not be obvious to someone who hasn't listened to this song what this is depicting, but if you listen to the song and then look at this, I think you'll understand where I was going with it. Driving Rain, on the other hand, didn't turn out as well as it should have. Unless I tell you that this is rain, you probably didn't realize that this is supposed to be rain. But regardless, I tried. Here's where the sketchbook actually starts to get good, in my opinion. So this is for the song Call Me by Shinedown. I really love how this one turned out. This is the first one that I actually did an under sketch with colored pencil for. So from this point on, if you see any blue markings, it's because of the colored pencil that I used. It was the Prismacolor Col-Erase colored pencil. And it works really well. I really like it. But in some of the other illustrations, I did have a harder time erasing it than others. This piece, I don't know. I think that I incorporated the white really well into this piece, so it is probably one of my favorites. The next piece is Survival by Sanctus Real. I really love this song. And I tried to depict just like a carefree child because that's what the song references. And so while I don't really like how like her leg turned out, I do think that her face really captures the attention here and is pretty representative of what I was going for. The next two songs are A Fool's Dance by Philip Phillips and Prisoner by Need to Breathe. I love this song. So Philip Phillips is one of my favorite artists. His first two albums are so good. This is a song on his second album, and I love it. So this is the phrase here, like life, I climb, I fall, just to step once more. So immediately, you know, I'm thinking, okay, spiral staircase. Well, further on in the story, it talks about, you know, falling down a hole, and it worked so well. I loved it. The next piece for Prisoner, again, I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I think the last page is really where this sketchbook starts to get better, and I kind of embraced what I was trying to do. I will say, lining these lyrics, and I can see I actually missed a spot there, but lining these lyrics was such a pain. Whenever I've got the white with just straight up black outline, those were the worst. Just be aware of that. All right, we've reached it. This is my favorite spread in this sketchbook. I love it so much. It is obviously the most Halloween, and I just think that these two pieces go so well together. I'm so happy. This was unintentional. Like when I did this piece, I had no idea what I was doing for this piece. So I'm so happy with it. Haunted by Design by Miles Kennedy and Soft Skeletons by Anne Boleyn, by the way. This piece, I have tried to depict this song so many times. I have tried like 4 different times to depict Haunted by Design. and finally I think I did a decent job of it. Now, I grant you, I probably could have had more like sound elements in this sphere here, but it being Halloween, I did decide to go the Halloween route rather than, you know, the cacophony of sound reverberating in your head, just causing distress. So take it as you will. I still really like how it came out. This piece was so much fun to do. I looked up a boxer stance. I looked up, you know, obviously a skeleton, and it was so fun trying to like put them together and trying to figure out how the skeletal structure would shift. The hips were definitely the hardest part to figure out because they're at like a sideways slant to you, so like their hips are turned but their shoulders are squared, so it was a lot of fun to figure out. But really like, again, how this whole spread turned out. These next two were so much fun. This is for the song Toothbrush by Brad Paisley, and this is for the song One Turns to None by Asking Alexandria. So Toothbrush is such a fun song. It is just a really lovely narrative, and it's so true. One Turns to None is a really fierce song. Obviously the overarching theme here, because I'm an animal, and I tried to depict this cougar. I grant you, it didn't turn out as well as it could have, but it could be worse. The next two are for Heartbreaker by Dirty Honey and No More by Disturbed. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed with No More just because I think it would have been much better if I had taken out the hand and if I had displaced the fire around the world and maybe added some fire like directly around the world. But regardless, this is how it turned out. Again, here is where you can sort of see the blue pencil, so that's what I was referring to earlier. Heartbreaker, I like how it turned out, but when I actually listened to this song again, I realized that I was trying to combine some lyrics from some different songs, so I don't think at any point he actually says the words "'cause you're a heartbreaker." It's just "you're a heartbreaker." So, oh well. The next two songs actually kind of went together as well, which was like, again, an unexpected twist in this sketchbook. I love how random songs just kind of go together. So the first one is Refrigerator by Luke Combs, and the second one is Diet Soda Society by The Maine. So Luke Combs is a country artist, The Maine is kind of an alternative artist. They have nothing to do with each other, and yet this page kind of works. I love the song Refrigerator. Again, it's kind of just like Toothbrush in that it is so true. That's something that country songs just do really well. I feel like they really hit you, you know, in a place that you're unexpectedly gonna be really in tune with what they're saying. And then Diet Soda Society is just a really fun song. It's not as like hit you in the feels, it's just fun to listen to. The next song is Strobe Light by The Meeting Place, and this one is Hearts and Spades by I the Mighty. So Strobe Light, again, is the other Blue October side project. So this is Ryan Delahoussie's side project. He is the violinist, mandolinist, sometimes guitar player. He does everything. He's amazing. Ryan Delahoussie is my favorite musician, and so depicting his song was a lot of fun. I tried to capture like the strobe light element and like it kind of looks like a pulsing heart. And I kind of like how this turned out. The hand in this one looks a lot better, and I like the font that I tried to do. It was kind of fun like varying the font here. Hearts and Spades is another song that I've actually tried to depict multiple times, and I like previous illustrations better, but I tried to take it in a different direction. I actually incorporated the playing cards instead of the typical horse montage that I tend to go with when depicting this song. And the final two songs. So here we are, we have reached the end. This again is for the song Dying Day by Disorder. Disorder is an up and coming band. I highly recommend that you go and listen to them. I will leave a link to their lyric video for this song down below so that you can go give it a listen and know what it is about. But it is such an encouraging song. It is a song that everyone should go listen to right now because it is so true and it is just so uplifting. So please go listen to it, know that it is true, and please, please, please don't give up. The next song is Selling the News by Switchfoot. This again is like such an applicable song to right now. I absolutely love this song. It's so fun to listen to, and I really love how this came out, the newsprint and everything. It perfectly captures the song in my opinion. So there you have it, guys. There is my Inktober sketchbook. So I hope that you enjoyed this sketchbook. Please, please, please give it a like if you did. Please subscribe to my channel to see more art and book related YouTube content on a weekly basis. I post every Tuesday and sometimes on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Bye.